Hi, I'm Mark Kelley and welcome to the show. Well, we're on the cusp of Christmas, Canada, and beyond all the feverish holiday shopping and Hallmark card commercialism, 'tis the season for giving, right? Whether you drop a coin in the Salvation Army kettle or sign a check to your favorite charity, the need is there and the appeals are out.
So this is Christmas, and what have you done?
The airwaves are inundated with appeals, and Canadians respond. According to Stats Can, we are a nation of givers. 23 million Canadians donated $10 billion to charity in 2007. Now that's up by $1 billion from 2004. Most of it goes to religious organizations, but that might change as people begin directly appealing for help or directly offering it on the web. Buyers and sellers of almost anything you can imagine use online classifieds like Craigslist and Kijiji to connect. Well, forget the old fridge or lumpy couch. In these tough economic times, hundreds of people are asking for food or toys for their kids, while others are offering their help. Molly Sante put up an ad on Craigslist free stuff section. She offered to cover the cost of a holiday meal and toys for the needy family. She joins me now. Molly, welcome. And tell me, have you been in the past, giving in the past? Have you done this before? Have you always been doing something at Christmas?
I've been doing things year-round, actually. I have a very strong calling to give back to the community. I feel I've been very blessed. And so I was the soup lady at the local food bank for years, and then I decided to shift my way of giving, and I created a Christmas Angel program in which I give food and toys to needy people at Christmas.
Okay, and so why did you turn? I mean, we're just interested in seeing how, you know, the charities, there's nothing new about charity. It's always been out there, and there's nothing new about the need.
Yes.
But was moving to the web as a way to connect people. Why did you go to Craigslist? Why did you go to the web?
I was inspired to go to Craigslist because I believed that the intention was pure when it came from an anonymous source.
Really?
And this way I was anonymous, and the people who came to me were anonymous, and I just felt that it came from a pure place as opposed to attached to ego and doing it for praise or doing it for laurels and applause. This way I know I'm giving for the pure sake of giving.
And when you put the ad out there, say for the meal and toys, what kind of response did you get?
Well, because I limited it to Brampton and I put the ad out in November, I received a very limited response of about 15 families asking for help.
And then, so what did you do next?
And then what I did was I used my intuition, and I wanted to filter out the families that I felt were fabricating, and then the families who really were authentic and truly needed.
Yeah, because I was curious about that. Because of the anonymity, as you mentioned, I mean, how do you know that what you're giving is actually getting the people who really need it?
Exactly. And I just trusted my intuition. You can tell what's authentic. People, you can feel it. It jumps off the screen, and I knew, I resonated with the people whom I was meant to help.
So how did you get in contact with them?
It's completely through email.
Through email. So you never met any of these people you don't know?
No, I haven't.
And what were their stories like?
I have one family of 5 children, and she's pregnant. Her husband left her. She's due a few days after Christmas. She had nothing except a sleeper with which to bring in this new child. And so my organization, my friends, my family, my patients, we held a charity event, raised money, and we will be gifting them with clothes and food and toys and diapers, a stroller, blankets, just an entire layette, so that this beautiful new soul coming in will be gifted.
Well, and I know that you had said at the outset that you were looking at doing this in an anonymous way, and we were very interested in the notion of the people who are giving and the people who are receiving as well. So we looked into this, and we actually found one of the people that you gave to. So what we want to do is bring out somebody tonight who is actually going to be receiving one of your gifts. This is Dorothy Hartley.
Hi, nice to meet you. Oh, it's nice to meet you.
Dorothy, welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good. So Dorothy was one of the people who responded, one of the people that you were in touch with, and I know that you'd only communicated via email, and we just thought it was interesting because as we were talking about the people giving, but also we were curious about the people who are in need. And so Dorothy, what was your need like this Christmas?
Well, as I said to Molly, I didn't even know her name until just today. I was my husband and I were helping out a family member, and the situation flipped, and it ended up putting us in a rough spot where we had to either find a place to live at the end of September or come up with a lot of money. And doing that kind of left us short. Sorry.
That's okay.
And I have 2 kids, and Christmas is all about kids, so it's hard to there's so many people in need nowadays. I don't know, it's hard for parents to tell kids that, you know, there's just not going to be this or that or whatever, right? And my kids don't ever really ask for much. So to just, for things to be so tight this year is really hard. So I just sent the email and explained to Molly my situation. And then I didn't hear anything. And then I got an email and she said that she admired my courage and that she wanted to help us. And it was pretty amazing.
And why did you turn to the web for this as opposed to the traditional places where you know, maybe going to a Salvation Army or something like that? They'll give you a holiday hamper or something like that.
Well, actually, with nowadays, because there's so many people in need, there's limitations, right? And my husband and I both work full time. It's just that this year is really hard. And it's been hard for my parents too. They've gone through a rough spot this year, so they can't help us out where they normally would. And I actually wasn't even looking for this. I always pop onto Kijiji and Craigslist, and you know, just to see, because you know, people buy new furniture and they have stuff that they want to give away that's still in good shape. And I was just browsing and I saw this and I thought, well, you know what, times are tough for me. You know, maybe I'll send an email, see what happens. And I got her email back and it was just great. It was like amazing that there's people out there that can give and want to give and help people.
And what I find is interesting is what's different from a lot of other charities is where you may give a gift to the charity, but you never really know A, where it goes, or B, who it goes to. And what's interesting now through the web and through social media is that there is this direct connection. And for a lot of people you wouldn't make that connection, but now you can actually see you're helping. So how does it feel now to put a face to what you've done?
It is such a tremendous honor to serve. When I read Dorothy's email, I was so moved because I could feel the purity of her request, and it was all for the children. And I'm a mother, and a single mother at that, and I know what it's like, how hard it is to provide. And when your intention comes from such a loving place, how could I not reach out? Because I do believe we all are one, and she is me. And so, of course, in serving her, I serve myself.
And Dorothy, what do you want to say to Molly? I mean, you had a need this year. You're like so many Canadians. We were doing a story on this a couple of weeks ago. You're buried under a mountain of debt right now, despite the fact you've got a job. You're not making ends meet. Yeah,
it's hard, and I mean, cost of living goes higher. Wages don't get any higher. You just do what you can, and I mean, my husband and I in the past have always been able to do this. And I mean, we've always been able to do Christmas, and not, like, my kids have never asked for big ticket items. Like, they have things that they want, like most kids, but they never ask for the hottest toy that people are, you know, looking on eBay for or willing to pay tons of money for. So for just to have such a hard Christmas and not be able to get them, you know, the simplest little things is, you know, it's hard. And it's just so nice that there's, like I said, somebody out there for, like Molly, because it's amazing. And there's a special place in heaven for people like you.
Merry Christmas to you both. Have a great holiday.
You too.
Thanks for talking to us tonight.
Thank you.